Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm Grubby and these are my WarCraft 3 commentaries. Now this is going to be episode 6 of season 2. And once again I would like to thank my long-time sponsor BenQ Gaming Monitors for sponsoring this commentary series. You can follow them at BenQ Gaming on Twitter and please help me to show your support and appreciation to them for these videos. More than that, however, this is going to be a project of love. With the recent show matches I played in China and streaming WarCraft 3 occasionally, and just being a damn lifetime fan of WarCraft 3, I love putting out these videos and I'm so glad that you're here with me to enjoy them together. WarCraft 3 is a great game and the next games that are going to be coming up are going to display some truly off-the-meta strategies. Now because it's been a while since I made a video, I'll include all the games of the best of 3 between Soccer and me at BlizzCon 2009. Now Soccer is a Korean Night Elf player, very skilled player. This was going to be the loser bracket finals, which means that the winner would go on to play the Grand Finals against Lin for $25,000, the World Championship title, and the legendary Frostmourne sword as a trophy. So without further ado, let's begin watching the first game in the series. Alright, it's going to be on Turtle Rock and I'm spawning here at the right side location. You can see that Soccer will be spawning at the bottom left. Now Turtle Rock is a map that right now, if you play Turtle Rock on W3 Arena, you cannot spawn in close positions anymore, but that was not the case here yet. So the game plays out very differently whether you are in close positions or not. In cross map, both players get a lot more time to do creeping, get some items, get some XP, and it's just a whole different game. It also creates a very different dynamic in the late game. When you're close position, it can be a lot more aggressive. Normally I would like to get this creeps, this ogre warrior. I would like to get, well, I forgot, I think it's this one. This ogre warrior that had the items, claws of attack, circlet of nobility and so on. I would get up to 1 or 2 of them. I would get a circlet, and it's just a whole different game. On close positions, however, I have no hope to effectively go farm all the items. Because what if he comes for me immediately and he starts just attacking my second burrow, or he comes to mana burn me? It creates for a very poor start, especially if he plays a hyper aggressive strategy. So usually at close positions, I will just send my Blade Master over to him and see if I can damage his archer. Maybe I can cancel a third Moonwell and just deplete his mana a little bit. Every time he mana burns me, that's going to be less mana on his Demon Hunter. And as we all know, mana requires 4 times as much juice for Moonwells to heal up as health points. So every 1 mana he's missing is 4 health less that he can heal from that. And it takes until nighttime, of course, to get replenished Moonwell juice. For now, of course, he's going to be Ancient of War creeping. He's going to leave everything at 5% life. Then he will clean up with his archer once his Demon Hunter comes out. I'm going to attack immediately. I'm starting to build my second burrow, Voodoo Lounge, and I'm heading right over to him. Now there's going to be a number of Mind Kings here, because first of all, he's already finished with creeping, so there's no point really to start attacking him now. He has no vulnerabilities. I'm sending the Grunt here to pretend that I'm going to use my Blade Master to attack him in his base. If I did that, however, my Blade Master would be half life, out of mana. I cancel 1 Moonwell, he rebuilds it, and he gets a really strong counter harass. Then he thinks, hey, maybe you went for this creep. Actually, I didn't. What I did was I bought Circlet of Nobility and Dust of Appearance. Now I could have gotten that from my side of the map at my Goblin Shop, but I would be out of position to be aggressive and to constrict him in his playstyle. Now he heard me windwalk twice. Once it seems like I went into his base, but I instead got the Circlet. The second time I came from the shop and I went into the direction of his base and he heard me windwalk again. So he thought, okay, this must be the time you're gonna deplete my Moonwell juice and attack my archer. But instead I went for his item Ogre Warrior and it gave me a second Circlet of Nobility. Now finally, with more bonus strength, agility and intelligence, I can start to more favorably trade against this Demon Hunter, which only has a Gauntlet of Strength. So it's more worth it any trade I make now. Let's say if we both went to low HP, I would go back and get a single healing salve and he would lose a lot of Moonwell juice. Alright, at this time, I'm gonna make my third grunt. And soon I shall have to make a third burrow. If I want to be safe, I would get a boots of speed first. If I want to be aggressive or make more use of my my Blade Master. You can also go a fourth grunt first. Like the third burrow quickly is to prevent it from being cancelled by Demon Hunter Archer shenanigans. Whereas the fourth grunt gives you the best creeping. And the quick boots of speed gives you the best harassment. So these are your three options at the point where you are 26 food.
Your building is complete.
You made a fourth Moonwell. He's still not sure if I'll be very aggressive. So he scouts with a Wisp. Did not see my third burrow yet.
We're under attack!
And instead I'm just all the way here to get another high value item, hopefully. And to also get level 2 or closer to level 2. Now this grunt was to scout. Seeing 4 archers at this point is not normal. He should have 3 archers max for defense. And even more likely to have like 1. 1 archer would be the standard tech build. So I break off my creeping, got Claws of Haste. I'm starting to move to the grunt here. I'm gonna use my speed scroll to send the grunt away to safety. I could have also saved my healing salve on the grunt, but I'd rather use it on the Blade Master. 4 archers showed that soccer is being extremely aggressive. And that means a tier 2 push is coming up 100% sure. You don't just make 4 archers for defense. If you do, and I do no aggression, I just defend and tech, I'm gonna have a huge advantage. So we take a look at what he's doing. He's getting his Ancient of Wonders, setting up to buy a Tavern Hero. And it could be Beastmaster, it could be Naga, it could be Firelord.
Upgrade finished.
So upgrade finishes, he's gonna go for the Naga Sea Witch. That means he'll also be upgrading improved bows, the range for archers. And he got Staff of Preservation. He's gonna attack now. Now, I know that he's gonna be aggressive. So I'm actually gonna research Berserker Strength before making Spirit Lodge, which is safer. You get 100 points of HP per grunt and more bonus attack damage, 3. Quick Spirit Lodges are really bad against early rushes. Bestiary is okay because it starts giving you more control once you have Raiders and Ensnare. But the early Walker is bad against Archer Dryad Rush and Archer Talon Rush and Archer Instant War Rush. So I use Healing Potion, and thanks to all the great items, I'm able to win that duel at first. But because I'm blocked, and WarCraft 3 units AI is so-so, I was unable to clear up quickly enough, and I just decided to do max amount of damage. So at this point, TC is coming out. I'm gonna have 2 choices. I can go Endurance Aura or Shockwave. Shockwave is pretty great against archers. Endurance Aura is great for the whole sustain fight and everything, but since his Demon Hunter is dead, I'm guaranteed to have 2 Shockwaves, and it's gonna help a little bit to defend against the pusher. The Clarity Potion is actually a doubtful investment, because it's very unlikely that I get a Shockwave and then heal up 60 mana from Clarity before Demon Hunter is back and mana burns me again. So I am gonna try and do that. I'm healing with Clarity, but it's gonna bring my TC out of the rotation for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm just gonna try and repair as much as possible while Blade Master comes back.
Ready to ride.
So oftentimes it can be nice to get Ensnare first before Raider, but when you're defending, you need everything you got. See, I could have Shockwave, but he actually mana burned me before I used it. So Speed Scroll is a great way for your grunts to do bonus damage against archers. I don't know what the follow-up tech is yet, but usually you'll see talents coming out. However, with the amount of archers that I see coming out, I know it's not going to be Cyclone, so I'm not even going to think about starting Spirit Lodge for a very long time, because it won't do me no good. It's better just to make as many grunts raiders as possible and get more potions of healing. So this is a very crucial surround here. If I didn't do it, he's going to keep tanking with Demon Hunter and attacking with the rest. So a very important surround there, and it was before I had like lots of raiders with Ensnare and everything. Okay, so we take a look at his build. He's actually going for 1-1, archers and talents. He's not upgrading his talents, he's just getting items and no tier 3 either. You can see that he has no money. So I don't know if he's transitioning yet. Suho from China is a Night Elf player that oftentimes did an aggression like this and then transitioned to tier 3. But once I saw that he attacked again with increased archer numbers, you heard me cancel the Spirit Lodge here. I thought I had to transition. Like, I need to wait till I get info, and I cannot get safe scouting info in his base. So the only way that I can judge is by counting his units. Just now when I moved down here, I saw that many archers. It means survive and win. it's survive and win or drown and lose. So it's all about healing potions and units. Again, a very important surround here, and he's gonna try and give Staff of Preservation to his Naga Sea Witch. So it's very important that I hit an ensnare right as he wants to use it. He was trying to be greedy, and that gave me the kill there with ensnare. If he staffed it a little bit quicker, this could be really, really bad for me. So I'm just treading water here. Now that Demon Hunter is dead, I can attack, even though I look very unhealthy. Like, I've got lots of units that are very close to dying. And actually with the Fairy Fire and the tiny body block that the Raider did there, Blade Master's gonna go down. But because I have Mana Potion and get more Shockwaves, it's gonna actually be really useful. And it looks weird, right? Like, I got this tiny army and he's running away from it, but I'm putting the Raider on the unarmored units to get bonus attack damage. And I'm trying to put the Grunts as much as possible on Archers, which again gives bonus attack damage. And it's all about his Demon Hunter being the tank here. Now I'm gonna try and pull off a Naga Sea Witch surround. It's almost a surround, except there was a hole here. I'm gonna try a body block here with the Raider, which buys another half second. But it looks like he's gonna get away. Now Raiders do tiny damage on Naga. 8 damage a hit, but the ensnare finally was enough to finish off the Naga Sea Witch as well. I'm starting to buy Clarity Potion here again, because I've actually got level 2 Shockwave now, because TC got level 3. And that's going to be the key. Very nice and cute block there with the Archer on the ground. So at this moment, again, I don't know whether he's going to tier 3 finally, or whether he's continuing to make Archers and Talons. I see 2 Archers right now. If at any time in the future I see 3 Archers, that means this attack is not over. He gets that mana burn. So we need to keep an eye on his Archer count. We actually see he's not making any Archers. He is going to tier 3. And once I become aware of that, I will make a Spirit Lodge. For now, my Blade Master just came back.
My life
We're still making Grunts, which we wouldn't do if it was all Talents and only Archers. Because Grunts are not so good against Druids of the Talent. Like, we're still very much in survival mode here. And still making Raiders, not making Grunt right now. And now, finally, it looks like he's not being aggressive anymore. If he was, he would be attacking me with a Naga Sea Witch, with increased army numbers. So I expect, like, right about now, I should be making a Spirit Lodge again. And there we go. So you need to hit that timing very carefully, or you will just get out-teched, despite a pretty good early game advantage. Like, we're level 2-3. He's level 2-2. Almost 3, but I'm almost 4 on Tarn Chieftain. 2 camps or so. And so, yeah. The Spirit Lodge is right on time. So at this point, I have a decision to make, whether I'm going to go creeping or I'm going to go harass. Now, oftentimes in these very aggressive games, it's best to put pressure on him. If I go creep here, I'm going to need at least 3 healing salves to out-heal everything. And it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to give him a lot of time, while he's getting basically a superior tech. Because when you think about it, he's going to be on the way to Talent Tech already, whereas I'm just starting my Spirit Lodge. I'm not going to have enough time to get 2-3 Spirit Walkers out with Adept Upgrade. He's already got the talents, they are already gaining mana, so that once he finally gets Cyclone Upgrade, which, granted, it's a little bit far away, but once he gets it, he's going to have a better tech fight. So I do go here to the Goblin Shop, in essence with the attempt of ganking him, of doing a backstab here on him, creepjacking him while he's getting it. But since he wasn't there, I decided to take it. It's going to give me Claws of Attack +9 and a Healing Scroll. Now I have control of his shop, which is huge. Anytime he goes there for a Healing Scroll, I can see it. Like right now, if he goes for it, I will turn back immediately and attack him. So what I did just now was leaving the 2 Raiders with Fairy Fire in my base while doing the creep check there. That means that he will not know I'm coming. I found him still in his base, very passive, which once again reinforces the idea that he was going for Cyclone Tech. And every time I'm trying not to bring the Raiders to the main fight, unless if I want him to come out. Like right now, he sees where I am thanks to the Fairy Fire, and I'm pretending to start creeping. But I'm not interested in creeping. I'm interested in a fight, and this is a much better fight position than in his base. He just mana burned my Blade Master, which is great for my TC, And there I go for the full-on surround and focus fire of his Demon Hunter.
Our
I've got
champion
enough
has
ensnares to prevent the use of Staff of Preservation. And with the Speed Scroll surround on his Naga, I'm able to get another hero kill while shockwaving is ranged. It was the perfect bait to lure him out of a very good defensive position right before Cyclone was coming out. If Cyclone had come out, where is my Spirit Walker tech? I've got one Walker and no upgrade yet. So I would be fighting without protection against Cyclone tech, against up to 6 to 9 talents with Cyclone. But he took the bait, and it's that one Raider with Fairy Fire that actually made him come out. Now, if he didn't come out at all, I would still get the Creep Camp, eventually, which would be nice. But the ideal situation for him is not coming out at all and waiting for Cyclone, or attacking when the Turtle level 7 is actually down to 30% life. That would create a commitment for me to try and finish it off and give him the split attention of me. That would be a better fight for him. But for now it just worked out perfectly, and we destroy his early game push with a bit of luck and a bit of good decisions as well. Now let's go for the second game on Ancient Isles. Okay guys, so if you have watched episode 3 of my season 2 of Grubby's WarCraft 3 Commentaries, you will see a game against Shy where I go for this Tower Rush build on Ancient Isles. And this was a build, as I said in that video, that I had practiced over 40 times without a single loss against 5 different Night Elves in Europe. Now, European Night Elves were not as good as Korean Night Elves like Shy and Soccer, but if you get a 40-0 win rate, and they can blind counter as much as they like, even though you're doing the same cheesy Tower Rush every time, and they can even do it as if they have map hack because they know your previous game, you know it's a good build. Like, I was very confident about the build, so I decided to use it again against Soccer. Now, there was a complication here. I just played Shy in the previous round of the loser bracket, and I beat him with that Tower Rush. Soccer and Shy were not only both Korean, but they were also great friends. And so they discussed this strategy, I was sure of it. So my big dilemma was, do I use the strategy again or not? The answer was yes. I had already seen how good the strategy was when repeating it against the same practice opponent. So I figured another player who has the same information as my practice partners used to have is going to have much the same results, hopefully. I knew he would have a more comprehensive response than Shy, who was really easy to beat with it, because, you know, it was a well-rehearsed strategy and he had never seen it before. I knew he would have a different response, but I pretty much figured I had all my responses pat down. Still, it ended up being a war of adaptation here from the both of us. So as you can see, at 19 food, you're going to build the Voodoo Lounge not in your own base as usual, but in the attack. Right after confirming that he's doing what you expected, which is the Ancient of War creep. Then, at 19 food, you once again put down the War Mill, you make another Grunt, and then you make another Peon. And you keep making Peons and Grunts until you're at 30 food. So we go here for the Goblin Shop, we sell our TP for a Circlet of Nobility and a Dust of Appearance, which will be useful later. You don't need it yet, but there's no time to go back for it later. So we make that War Mill, gonna make another Grunt. We're gonna try and do some damage here. The lucky thing is, he messed up the AI, and he actually got his Archer ensnared and beaten by the creeps. It's not necessary that it happened, it happens like every now and then as a player mistake, and it gave me a nice Archer kill, which is really good beginning. Now if we look at his comprehensive response, he's gonna send a Wisp here to build a building here while defending with the Demon Hunter. Another nice adaptation that Soccer made is that he knew in order to get good trades, he needed to get Circlet of Nobility. He knew this was going to be a very long and protracted trading fight, so he got that Circlet. The third adaptation that Soccer made was to get Evasion instead of Mana Burn. As I already said in the last game, Mana Burn is much more costly to heal up, back up the mana loss than health, and he's going to get the bonus Evasion misses. He's actually going to make Hunter's Hall and a Tree of Life. Now the Tree of Life is a way to capitalize on the reward of defending the push. So he's confident that he's going to defend it. And the Tree of Life is, after that, he wants to win with it. Because he knows he's going to be on low tech, so he needs extra money.
Desecrated.
In the meantime, I'm doing the same strategy again. But I see that he made another adaptation, which is to make Ancients of War at my tower. So instead of making extra towers with the peons, I use them to auto-attack the Ancients of War while defending against the Demon Hunter. Now he's thinking about attacking my peons, but he knows it's too far out of position, and instead he's gonna have to go back. He tried to make this last as long as possible to buy time for the towers coming down. He knows as long as this one is building and he's not cancelling it, it's gonna buy time to delay my towers. Now this was a Hunter's Hall, which will allow him to make Ancient Protectors and eventually Glaive Throwers. For now he's gonna make Huntresses, his Ancient of War is in a good position to defend, and he's gonna keep cancelling my towers. Now if you look at his XP, it's very important to cancel the towers after a single hit. The second hit, when they're just built, will give him the kill on the tower, and this will give him bonus XP, which will put him at level 2, which is gonna be really great for him to trade better against me. See, again, after 2 hits I cancel and make a new tower. Note, by the way, that you're not making any third burrow yet. You go up to 30 food in grunts and peons, 4 grunts and full peons for the rest. But you don't need the burrow because all your money is going into Voodoo Lounge items and extra watchtowers. Now suddenly I found his adaptation. He's making Ancient Protectors, so I'm gonna try and cancel one, but instead I got a surround on his Hunter. I have dust. So I'm gonna try to kill the Huntress, even though he might heal it. And the only way he can save it is if he cancels Ancient Protector, but he doesn't want to. So he's gonna lose the Huntress, and it's gonna give me a lot of extra XP. Not quite level 2 yet, but very close to it. Using Speed Scroll to save myself and heal up my Grunt and Blade, and I still get the cancel on the Ancient Protector, while buying time for my towers to come up. Looks really great so far for me. And even though he has an Ancient Protector, their attack range when sieged is 7, and Watchtowers have a range of 8. Well, I should say 700 and 800. So, as long as my towers can outrange his Ancient Protectors, it is not enough for him to defend with it. Now, he did cancel, or kill a tower that finished eventually, which gives him the level 2. Now, I overextend too far trying to kill the Huntress. I don't have boots of speed, which I usually have, and he's actually going to body block it and finish off my Blade Master. A great move by him. And I'm also unable to finish off his Ancient Protector, which is actually going to put my grunts really low and lose my Blade Master. Now the second that he finished the Ancient Protector, I realized this might not be the end of the game. Not like it was against Shy. That's when I made my third burrow, because I knew that I was gonna need more stuff. But what do? Do I make more grunts? Or maybe Troll Headhunters? Troll Headhunters have the benefit of range, and they also have piercing damage, which does bonus damage against Huntresses. It's gonna allow me to trade better. Even though I don't have anything like Raiders yet to ensnare them and lock them down, it's still gonna do better trades wherever we fight. He shouldn't lose any Huntresses when fighting anywhere on the map to Headhunters. They actually counter Headhunters because they do bonus damage in return as well. And they're quicker. That means he can disengage from any bad fight while chasing any bad fight for me. But so long as I'm still putting pressure, the Headhunters are actually gonna do better trades. Now, I accidentally walked into this creeps, which gives me the idea that, yeah, I might as well creep it. It's gonna give me level 2, it's gonna give me another item, and I still have this to buy time anyway. His response to counter this is gonna be Glaive Throwers, and it's gonna slowly tickle down the towers. I get a Ring of Protection, I get a level up, while still having a bit of a chokehold on it. Now he saw that I finished this, I'm gonna pull back here, I'm gonna heal up, and I'm gonna go back to the safety of my towers, which gives him the idea maybe I can attack the Voodoo Lounge, but as soon as he sees the towers actually in range of the lounge, it's not gonna do him much good, and he can't exactly backstab me. There's a bit of a miss-micro, units were not on hold position. So what I'm doing here is I keep making Headhunters, but here's the weird thing, right? I haven't seen anything else from him than this response. This can't be all that he's hoping for. And I see this Wisp hanging out here, so I get antsy, I make a Watchtower in defense just in case he's planning an Ancient Protector reverse attack, which actually wouldn't be that bad of an idea, and it's one of the situations that I also prepared for. So you can't forget about this safety precaution. Even got one peon in a burrow here to attack the Wisp for a bit, which I'm forgetting to take out for now. We
Our
know that he
sacred
made a
grove
Tree
is
of Life,
being
but he has no
desecrated.
time to use it right now. And he's got a Huntress Hall here, but I don't know that. There's money missing in my mind, and it went into the tree.
Goddess,
And there's
light
also an
my
action
path.
plan missing, and again, it's that Tree of Life, and I thought it could be Protector. So he's using glaive throwers to attack the tower right now. As soon as I start repairing, he's gonna do an attack ground command, somewhat to the below of it, which is still gonna do pretty much the same damage on the tower, but the advantage is more splash damage on the peons. As you can see, this is not a sustainable plan for me, because I don't have tier 2 yet. I did realize it would come to that, but I can't make catapults into tier 2, and that's the cool, unique thing about Night Elf. Even though glaive throwers really suck, they are the only tier 1 siege weapon, so that is his advantage, and that's how he can defend against Watchtower rushes. As you can see, he's attacking peons and towers alike, and I'm starting to creep one of the high value camps near him here. Now he catches wind of it, starts getting on the map since he can't do anything good at home anyway, and I get a sentry wards, and I run away because I don't want to take trades like this. As I told you, I have no control over the battlefield,
Our town
but
is under attack.
yeah, I wanted to apparently like zone him out a bit. I wouldn't be able to get any kills. Just came back for the boots of speed and heal scroll. So he's finishing off the last towers. I'm chasing him off a bit because I got boots and he doesn't. So in terms of hero traits, I have more control
Our
now.
town is under attack.
He's finishing off the last towers and I'm getting closer and closer to tier 2. And I'm starting to think about what should I do at tier 2. I have a number of options. I can start playing completely normal, going to Spirit Walkers,
Our
Raiders,
town is under attack.
Shadowhunter or Tauren Chieftain. Gonna get my tech up. But then he's still got a lot of glaive throwers and huntresses. If I over tech, he can lay siege to me, maybe, right? Or he can swarm on the map, take an expansion, make lots of huntresses, and then one Spirit Walker isn't gonna do any good against lots of huntresses. So instead,
Life for the
I could
Horde.
also go for a bestiary only, making raiders, more headhunters, and actually have battlefield control like that, and just take fights. Or I could go to tier 3, make upgraded trolls, and get a really nice tier 3 army, lightning orb and what have you. But before I have to make the decision, I actually find him moving out with the glaive throwers to his expansion. So that pretty much makes the decision. He's got an expansion, he's putting his army in the harm's way, and so anything I make now, I gotta make it quick, I gotta make this game happen quickly, because he's mining more. And I actually find a really good position to attack him. Normally, he would be able to disengage from a fight, but not when his Tree of Life is at stake, and his glaive throwers are so exposed. Furthermore, I've got the position closer to his base, so anytime he wants to send huntresses to Moonwells, he actually had to walk through me. I get the first kill on a huntress, but now we can see how great huntresses are against troll headhunters as well. I sent my grunts to attack some glaive throwers, finishing off 2 out of 3. And with Boots of Speed and Windwalk, I can try to finish off more huntresses. But the trade is starting to get really bad for me. Losing a lot of units, only thanks to surround killing a huntress here, where he's forgetting to actually use the Shadow Meld ability. And I'm gonna go away. If he mana burned me, I would get surrounded and I would die. So I Windwalk before I can get mana burned and I start moving away. So my decision is going to be Bestiary and Shadowhunter. Now I'm just going to keep tabs of him. I gotta be careful because I don't have enough mana to Windwalk again. So once this icon starts blinking, Windwalk is running out. Of course, I know it by heart, but that's one way you can look at it. I see a chance. He's tanking with the lowest hunt, and I can actually finish it off with 2 hits. Pretty nice. Gonna try and finish off another creep, but he started making motions that he will surround me if I try. So I just went back. So now I'm licking my wounds. I know he has an expansion up. I know that he, thanks to the Sentry Ward, he's still making huntresses. I just saw that one finish. That means that he doesn't have tier 2. You wouldn't actually make any huntresses if you had Dryad tech available or Talons. So Demolishers are good here against mass huntresses. Really good. In fact, they are the best. Raiders and Kodos are second best. And Troll Headhunters are 4th best against huntresses. Of course, Wind Riders are great. Yeah, sure, but I'm not gonna go Wind Riders. It's really bad against archers.
We're under attack.
So we get the Demolishers, and the battlefield control comes in the form of zoning with Serpent Wards. Serpent Wards, obviously, piercing damage, do great damage against huntresses. And the first casualty is in my favor. I get a huntress. The only way that I can actually survive my Demolisher is if I use Speed Scroll, and that's why I got it. I'm gonna use that to try and juke as much as possible. So while he's chasing this Demolisher, his micro is getting worse. Because he's looking at the Demolisher, and with the Speed Scroll, I can actually juke pretty well. The peons are coming in here to repair it. I'm getting a lot of free hunter skills, which should not be happening. This one is coming back, which should have gone back to heal. And I keep moving away. The cool thing about repair peons is that they also block the pursuance. So you can see the Demon Hunter is getting really retarded. Now the Demolisher is starting to still run away. Finally he gets hit, but he paid a very hefty price. Cool thing about Kodo Beast, very good rush unit. You can eat units, you get piercing damage, which again is great against Kodos, against Huntresses. And they also have Unarmored, which doesn't take bonus damage from Huntresses. And you can eat Huntresses, which is really great. I'm starting to siege up here with towers. I'm getting another Demolisher out, getting another Raider out. I've got 3 peons here, so I'm starting to make watchtowers. These peons are on auto repair, just in case I forget about micro later and the watchtower finishes. And now this is a great fight. Anytime he's pushing into me with Kodos and wards, it's just going to be insane value for me. And it's all happening just because I had a watchtower finishing off. And that's because he didn't save his glaive throwers. He didn't really need glaive throwers earlier on to defend, but he brought them and he lost all of them in a very easy and cheap way. So I'm just getting massive value here. Getting its snare out now as well. And my Shadow Hunter is getting closer and closer to level 3. I'm also upgrading steel range weapons, which is going to get bonus attack to my Headhunters and Demolishers. Because this is the way I'm going to win. I understand my win condition now. About 5 minutes ago, I didn't understand my win condition yet, because I had to understand his first. His is swarming and expanding. Swarming units and expanding. Mass Huntresses. So my win condition is not letting him use his money and countering his unit type. If he had gone for Huntress Dryad with Keeper of the Grove instead of an expansion, I feel like it could have been quite difficult for me. His Demon Hunter was leveling up really well. I'm starting to pull the Drake here because I figure might as well start creeping the dragon a bit. Got really fond memories from Reign of Chaos where you creep dragons with watchtowers. Gonna give me a nice item. Forced to use Healing Scroll. Headhunter is exposed, but I do get a nice item, which is gonna be the Belt of Giant Strength. Can be sold for 200 gold as well. Of course, I hope for something better like True Shot Aura or Scourge Bone Chimes, but I'll take what I can. Now with the surround on the Demon Hunter, he's trying to save it, which is a big mistake. He should have used Town Portal immediately. Loses a few more units and lots of HP. Now finally, the Tree of Life is exposed. And the cool thing is, the 4 wisps that we're repairing actually got Town Portals as well. So he actually loses repair power here. Now, I don't want to go over 50 food because I need to maintain cost efficiency. He is still mining more gold than me until recently. So any way that I can add value is buying items and upgrading more attack thorium range weapons. Further increases demolition attack. I finally killed a tree. It was easy because of the bonus attack and him not repairing anymore. He tries a kind of counter attack here, which is never going to work, but you know, maybe he gets some free units. He doesn't get this around. When it rains, of course, a Raider survives, and I'm going to come back for that. Now, he doesn't have any other plans. He's got lots of money, but he's not upgrading to tier 2. He's just making more Huntresses. So he's completely all in at this moment. Just trying, and I can tell you his win condition attempt. It's trading until level 6 Demon Hunter. That's the only way he can win this fight. And he knows he's pretty good on the hero level, but he just needs to trade. For me, I have no more pressure on me. No more time pressure, because I killed the expansion. I've countered him in unit type. And I've also got my second hero already, which means I have more value from creeping. Whereas there's a creep level maximum for level 5. After that, only enemy heroes and enemy units will give you bonus XP. You can't level up beyond 5 with creeping, so I have that going for me as well. And I get a healing ward, which is perfect. Now, my talent choices for Shadow Hunter, they could have been Snakes and Hex, or Snakes and Healing Ward. But I went, Healing Wave. I went for Healing Wave, but it's pretty bad at level 1. And it's better to invest in the Snake spec. So I'm pretty much almost not using Healing Wave until it gets level 2. So until Shadow Hunter is level 4. I would rather just spend all my mana into Serpent Wards, and that's pretty much what you see
Work complete.
this the whole game so far. So I'm getting my final burrow here, and once I get 60 food, that's gonna be my time to finish off the game.
Work complete.
I get level 50, I get my burrow finished, I buy a bit more items. I'm not making units yet, which is a mistake, but I'm too busy with the fight. Ensnaring Demon Hunter so that he cannot get to my Shadow Hunter. Frodo eats a Huntress. He cyclones my Demolishers. He finally gets to my Shadow Hunter. And I actually used Healing Wave a moment too soon. But anyway, it's a great fight. Serpent Wards do lots of damage on Huntresses. Not making units still, which shows how much attention I'm putting in micro. But that's gonna be it. 2 cheesy games, one from him and one from me. And it was enough to give me the 2-0 lead against Soccer, the 2-0 victory actually in this best of 3. And enough to move me to the Grand Finals of BlizzCon 2009. This is an anti-spoiler alert. There was never a Game 3 on Twisted Meadows. I just did that so that you couldn't see it. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video a lot. It was a lot of preparation went into this tournament, and the Tower Rush strategy was a complete special strategy that I only ever used at this tournament, and I was able to reuse it, which is pretty cool. Generally, the idea when you want to use a strategy multiple times in a professional gaming tournament, if people have a night to sleep on something, it's usually enough for them to come up with a theoretical counter. If they play on the same day, even if they know about it, don't worry, it's almost never enough time to counter. Whereas a proper comprehensive response could happen in about a week's time. Like, if I played them again a week later, I don't think I would use the strategy again. So I hope you like this Season 2, Episode 6 of Grubby's WarCraft 3 Commentaries. Once again, a huge thanks to my longtime sponsor, BenQ Gaming Monitors, who have made this season, just like Season 1, once again possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And please give my channel a follow. And I'll see you guys next video. Cheers!